a quick buck is what our imams have become famous for. They have a list. £200, Aqdul Nikah. £300, Salatul Janaza. £500, Khatam Yawmul Khamis. The reading of the Khatam on the day of Thursday. And if you catch me outside my hours, it's double money. This is a fact. Let anyone contend with that. This is a fact how these people operate. You take from the wealth which is sufficient for you. As for these extra social services, you should offer them to society. If they give you something of their goodwill, that's good enough. But to be adamant that these are the set rules and the guidelines, and this is the behavior, has become famous in our society. This has become famous in our society, that this is the way. So if the imams are behaving in this manner, how do you expect the masses of people to behave? Of course the masses of the people are going to go and find anyone and go to this imam and say, read the nikah. Because the imam is relaxed, the people are relaxed. If the imam is stringent, not to mean that he cause hardship, but the imam is strict upon the teaching and trying to advise people and tell them good things to do, then the people will become strict in their approach as well, to make sure they carry out the correct checks. So we find that finally some of the rights that I will mention about the rights of the wife and the rights of the husband, or finally I think I won't touch upon that, because once again I may be going out of the topic, as I have a bad habit to do that. I want to conclude upon a famous hadith, a very famous hadith in Kitab al-Nikah, ما رواه Imam Bukhari, باب حسن المعاشرة مع الأهل, to be good towards one's family, narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha. Many of the brothers are smiling straight away at this famous hadith, but some of it may be against you, ya ikhwan. 11 women who sat down and decided not to conceal anything about the news of their husbands, and this is before, pre-Islam. 11 women sat down and decided to talk about their husbands. That's what women love to do, gossip. Even today in our society, unfortunately, we find that this gossip is widespread about the men in their house, etc. So we find that the first woman, she says, my husband is a meat of a lean, weak camel, which is kept on the top of a mountain, which is neither easy to climb, nor is the meat fat, so that one might put up with the trouble of fetching it. And the ulama shurrah al-hadith, they explain this hadith, they say that the first man is badly behaved, worthless, arrogant and miserly. That he's worthless, that this piece of lean meat just put on top of a mountain doesn't mean no value. That's the meaning of what she wanted to convey to her friends about her husband. The second one said, I shall not relate, for I fear I may not be able to finish his story of all of his defects and traits. So I'm not going to say anything. I'd rather remain quiet and not say anything. The third one said, my husband is a tall man. If I describe him and he hears of that, he will divorce me. And if I keep quiet, he will neither divorce me nor treat me as a wife. So if I say something about him, he'll divorce me, because he'll feel that she's trying to say something about him. The fourth man has been praised. He's a moderate person like the night of Tihama, which is neither hot or cold. I am neither afraid of him, nor am I discontented with him. The fifth man, he enters kal-fahad, wa idha kharaj kal-asad. If he enters, he's like a leopard, and if he leaves, he's like a lion. And the sifat of the fahad is, it's shy and harmless and sleepy. So when he comes in the house, he just lies there and he's sleeping most of the time. وَإِذَا خَرَجْ أَسَدْ. But if he goes out, he's like a lion. That's my husband. Number 6, he eats too much. And when he drinks, he doesn't leave anything. Doesn't leave nothing. He sleeps, and when he sleeps alone. And does not stretch his hands here and there. Because sometimes a woman wants a man to stretch her hands here and there and just touch her. A good sense of feeling. But when he eats all on his own. He drinks everything. And when he sleeps all on his own. As for the seventh man, he is a wrongdoer or weak and foolish. He might injure your head or your body or do both. That he just gets overtaken by his emotions and he'll harm the woman. As for the eighth person, he is soft to touch like a kal-arnab, like a rabbit. And he smells kal-zarnab, and he smells like a sweet grass, is my husband. The ninth man, that he is tall, generous man wearing a long strap for carrying his sword, his ashes are abundant, and he lives close to the people. And number 10, my husband is Malik. And what is Malik? And what will explain to you who is Malik? that most of the camels, when they come, they are kept at home. When they hear the flute being played, they know they're about to be slaughtered for the guests that are coming. And then finally the 11th man, Abu Dhar. And what will explain to you who is Abu Dhar. He has made the ornaments have become so loaded on my ears that my earlobes are hanging down because of gold he has given me. The bangles that he has given me. And he found me in a state of poverty. And he gave me all of the riches that I needed. And his mother has got bags of provision. And the son is well off and generous. And the daughter is fat and well built, and people are jealous of her. And a slave girl does not conceal or reveal the secrets. However, what happened? What did Abu Dhar go and do? That one day he saw a woman sitting there, and the two children were playing with a certain part of the body of the woman, and then he was taken back by that. So he divorced her and he married this other woman. So we find that this is the nature of man. And the Prophet stated, كُنْتُ لَكِ كَأَبِي زَرْعٍ لِأُمْ زَرْ. I am like Abu Dhar, that I've given you everything that you needed. Everything that you have needed, I've given it to you, fulfilled all of your needs. However, when I was reading this hadith, I began to think that at some point my deficiency in understanding doesn't make sense. Why is the Prophet stating that I am like you, like Abu Dhar was? Because he went and he divorced her. And in another narration, Marahu Imam Nasa'i, he mentioned these words, إِلَّا أَنِّي لَا أُطَلِّقُكِ, except that I won't divorce you. I've given you everything, but I'm not going to divorce you like Abu Dhar done. He saw another woman and he divorced her. And with that we bring it to a close. Our brother mentioning talking about viewing a woman, seeing more hands, etc. I did touch upon that. I did touch upon the walima. If you want me to mention more, I think maybe you're in more need of this. That's why you keep on emphasizing this point. I mean, I'm sure I touched upon viewing, what to view, what not to view. If you want to go into more specific details, then I think, and the walima as well. And wallahu alam, I mean, maybe my lack of understanding of the topic, but that's what I had to share with the brothers. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.